Hey, so here we are. Again, one topic, 10 minutes. I'm going to spin the wheel, and let's go.
Do we want to say our names?
We already did. That was during the introduction.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm Nuck. Okay.
So, again, the main goal here is to give you guys a bit of a brain dump. Some of you are not going to subscribe because this is not about you.
It's not about you. Don't subscribe.
Right, but then there's going to be a whole bunch of you
that should subscribe
and want this. And so our goal is to not only have fun doing this, but to make it slightly uncomfortable so that it'll go viral. And that's Jeff's job. Jeff's job is to make me feel uncomfortable. All right, so here's the big wheel. And it's over there.
14 topics.
I think I'm going to spin the wheel over here. Is that big enough? Yeah, ooh, maybe over here.
Okay.
There we go. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Did I spin it the right way?
Round and round. No,
Does it? There we go. It clicks more the other way.
round and round she goes. Oh, I hope you land on the car.
Oh, what is that?
High school memory.
All right. So now the next question is, who's? I guess we can just talk about it together. But before I do that, and
10.
start to go. Here we go. All right.
Oh, jeez. Now I just got nervous.
High school memory. So
Yeah.
Jeff and I have known each other since 7th grade.
7th grade.
So we have a lot of memories about each other.
At the time it was called junior high. For you oldies out there.
Oh yeah, what is it now?
Middle school.
Middle school.
Ugh. I'm a middle kid. I wouldn't have liked middle school. Well,
So,
I'm not getting anywhere. I'm still in the middle.
so here's the part where I snap my finger. Well, I'm not going to snap my fingers. Here's the part where we show a picture of Jeff and I when we were in high school together. It's that old, remember the photo booth you'd sit in? It's the 3 different photos.
It was the album cover.
It was our, right. So we're going to start.
We're gonna get to use our album cover.
What a better way. Are you looking at the camera or are you looking at the picture?
Yes.
And so we're going to talk about what life was like for us in high school, which was, do we want to say when? But
It was a little while ago.
for you youngsters out there. So things really haven't changed much because there's cars and there's girls and
There's fast cars.
then there's fast cars.
Faster cars.
So I want to talk about our English class.
Okay.
So we had.
Do we want to use teachers' names? It's okay, because it's just our last name. Nobody will know.
That's true. That's
Unless
right.
you went to all the way junior high or...
Right. Well, okay. Let's do one story from junior high
Okay.
and one story from
High school.
yeah. So junior high. It was a cold, wet day, and Jeff and I were in track. I did back then. It was the football throw and shot put.
Yep.
Jeff was actually a really good sprinter. He was a really good runner.
Want to see me run?
Yeah. I told you it was going to get embarrassing. And then we had, while we were getting to know each other back in 7th grade, we put together a not martial arts.
Well, at the time
WrestleMania.
it was big time wrestling.
Yeah, so who were the big wrestlers back then?
We had the Hulk. Hulk Hogan.
Jesse Ventura when he had hair. I mean,
Andre the Giant.
Yeah, when he was alive.
Who was in Princess Bride.
Yeah.
I don't know who else.
Which one was he?
Andre the Giant?
Yeah.
He was the giant, the big guy.
In Princess Bride?
Yes, he took and he like tossed people up over.
He was. Which one was he?
He was the giant. He was huge.
I'll have to go back and watch it.
He would crush people with his hands. Yeah. Remember the guy who said that's inconceivable?
That was the giant?
No, you're not following. Is this part of the high school memory? It is, because Princess Bride was about that time. He was on that team. So remember the guy?
Oh, he's okay. So wrestling, junior high, not wrestling. You and I came up with a wrestling move.
Big time wrestling was a little 2 minute.
So, right. So it was did it start with me throwing you down? It was something.
It started with a confrontation.
Right. So like you would. Oh, that's what it was. You'd throw and I'd block, and pull you, and then I'd throw a punch and miss, and then that's what it was. Then you'd throw, I'd block, I'd drop down, your hips would go on my feet, and I'd kick you over my head, and you'd land on your back.
Right. Easy.
And then you'd come running at me, and then I would block, and then throw another punch.
Yeah.
And it was raining, and so
it wasn't just raining; it was torrential downpour.
It was. Well, Pacific Northwest, one of those giant rainstorms where there's like an inch of water on the track, on the grass where we were. It was at the end of the.
It was the end of the practice. The
so
last
we didn't
day.
care because we were already wet.
We were already wet.
Was it getting ready for finals? Wasn't it, or
it was like districts or something the next day.
It was some important run for you.
Something where you wouldn't want to be hurt or injured.
Yeah.
To compete.
So, anyways, after I kicked him and he landed on the ground and slid, we had gathered quite a crowd around us, about 5.
Yeah, good 5, strong 5.
Because it was raining and nobody wanted to stick around and watch.
It was a hard 5.
But we were having a great time, and you were doing fine. I'm the one that slipped during the throw, and I actually hit him right in the face. And and he went flying backwards as part of the stunt.
Whoa, that looked good!
And I said, I actually hit him, and I looked at my wrist, and it just started to puff up, and I fractured my wrist, and I put his lip against his bottom teeth, and he actually cut a hole. His teeth went all the way through his lips, right between the pink and the white spot. I'm going to give him a close-up. Did you still have the scar there? There we go. So he actually stuck his tongue through it,
yeah,
which was like holy.
And I don't do well with that kind of stuff.
Right. So he drops at the sight of blood.
Yeah.
And so now he's having to deal with that. But as a result of it, I fractured my wrist. It was my right hand, so I had to wear a splint. I was done for the season.
I had to run the next day.
So
and I had like 5 or 6 stitches, but it was huge. It was huge.
It was.
The problem is it flopped around, and what people were trying to do that day is make me laugh because, and so all I remember was it was like the 100-yard dash, and it hurt so bad. I don't know if I won anything, but anyway.
All right, high school. Oh geez, I don't know if I have enough time.
Okay, we can do
So
this.
high school, Burns class, we just had a power outage. The fun thing about it is when you walked into the room, which was an outdoor room, or it was attached to the
Coming from
outdoor.
the outside, yeah.
So you came in, and immediately to the left were 2 light switches.
And the day before, we had a huge power outage, and so everybody was like they had to shut the school down early.
We got to leave.
Go home, and this was like maybe the last class of the day or something.
And this is something it was just a single switch. This is something I'd been mulling in my head for a while. So as a background, I'm a magician too. And so I've been learning all this cool stuff with thread. And so what I did was I took my mom's black thread and I made this giant loop and I hooked it around the light switch. And then I went underneath the desk.
There was right
and
next to
there were 2 empty rows along the side, and then the rest were us. So I had gone all the way under to the fourth row where I was sitting, and let the thread be really slack. And Jeff sat in front of me, and I was behind.
Yeah.
So then when the class started, my heart started pumping a little bit, but underneath the desk, I started pulling the thread, and it got tighter and tighter, and it was above the ground underneath everybody's. Well, people were behind us, but it was black thread, so nobody really noticed.
Nobody knew what was going on.
And it was at the perfect angle for the chair, so that right next to the switch it went straight down. So all I had to do is just gently pull this thread, and Jeff didn't know what was going on.
And there was nobody.
Did I tell you about it beforehand?
I did, because I was a giggler.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Jeff, is there a problem? But there was nobody.
That was afterwards. So
no,
I think
but during it, because nobody was sitting in the chairs nearest the light switch, so there was no way.
And like the first 3.
Right. So there's no way that she could sense that anybody was trying to touch it or manipulate it.
Right. So that's the funny part. So now I'm pulling it, and I got the tension on it, and the light switch went, boom, and it
just went out.
And it's right in the middle of while she was talking.
Right. Oh, oh shoot, I guess
yeah,
we're just
I remember
gonna
going,
have to
well, and then she,
file out of here now.
and then she looked outside,
Oh, wait a minute. The other lights are on.
which is just, that's her.
Minnie Mouse.
And
Oh.
she noticed that all of the lights out in the other rooms outside, she could see the other
What's
rooms
going on here?
were on. And here's what I did, is when I did that,
you
the
start
cool part
rolling
about
it
it, yeah, so I rolled it all up so it was gone.
While she's talking and I'm
And then
giggling.
I put the thread in my pocket, so now there's no sign that...
No, but the lights go out, the switch comes down, and then Jerry's doing this. And I'm giggling, and she's like, oh, why? And she just did.
So then she walks to see what's going on, and then she looks, and then she sees that the light switch has been switched off.
And there's nobody around it.
And she turns it on, and it's like, there's nobody there.
Oh, well, it's all good.
Oh, we've been stopped automatically
doesn't
over
matter.
there. Okay, so we're going to be at this camera. And when she turned it back on, I mean, I don't know what was going through her head, but she had to have been like totally freaked out.
Right, because there are no students. There's no reason.
And now you've got the what does George Carlin call it? It's like the casket giggles, or like when you're at a funeral, and like they'll say you start giggling. You know you're not supposed to, but you have to. And
What's going on?
So that's what we were doing. Oh, so anyways, we're right at 10 minutes. So what happened was, she walked right up to me because I was giggling. She goes, Jerry, are you psychic? Thanks for listening. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Jeff.
And you've been listening to 10 minutes of
Crazy.
10 by 10.
10 by 10. 10 minutes of crazy.
Actually, it's 14 by 10 now.
Ah, crap.
All right.
Ciao.